Yay! I am live here on YouTube. Thank you for joining me. I am really happy to be back with you guys. I recently got a 7-day ban from YouTube for the video, the truth about the unfortunate truth about the truther community, and I have re-uploaded that to rumble.com. I will try to grab the link really quick for you. I should have had this done. Fortunate truth about the truth. Anyways, I uploaded this video. That's really weird. It's not showing up. It's a really windy day outside. Okay, here's the URL. Yay. Okay. So this is the truth about the truther community. Perfect. There is that. So yeah, I got banned for medical misinformation for talking about the jab. As soon as I pretty much got off my YouTube ban, now I'm on a 30-day book ban. Yay. I will leave this thread here. I was actually posting in the dry fasting community about bone broth. Bone broth is black magic, and you know what the monsters in children's stories do, right? They collect bones and put them into a bowl and then make a broth, make a soup out of bones. Like, how? The things that humans have been desensitized to, the just vile. Like, what are you guys doing, right? So here is the thread, and the comment that, well, let me just back up for a second. What happened was some random sock puppet account who's using a fake name, a fake profile, came in and started calling me racist because I posted that bone broth is black magic. It's like, my post had nothing to do with a race. It doesn't matter what race you are. Evil is evil no matter what race is doing it, right? Like, their defense is, you know, like, oh, Native people have done it for a really long time. My grandma did it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what race is doing the evil. You know, how many races were involved in slavery, right? But we can't sit here and try to justify slavery just because, you know, some ancestors did it, right? It's either right or it's wrong, regardless of who has done it in the past, regardless of how we were raised. And that's the angle that I'm coming from. And this person comes in and starts bringing race into a topic that had nothing to do with race. Like I said, evil's evil regardless. So they brought race into the conversation, which is, you know, what someone who's racist would do. And then they were trying to call me that. And then the last comment, well, not the last comment, but the comment that I got in trouble for, this person was trying to say that we all came from the same race, which is an evolutionary theory. It goes along with the theory of evolution, which is nonsense. I've posted multiple times. You know, 3 main evidences that disprove evolution. But let me just stick to the topic for a second, and we can get into that in a minute. I said, no, we do not all come from the same race. All races were created differently in different locations at different times by our creator. This is something that is just a fact of our reality. It's not to be towards anybody or any race or anything. I think that we should appreciate our differences, right? We should acknowledge the fact that we are created differently and understand, try to grasp the bigger picture of why our creator even gave different races, right? Gave different types of humans, you know, when it comes down to it. And ultimately the mother earth, you know, people refer to Mother Earth, Sophia, that is, she is seeking wisdom. And I've said before, you know, with only one race, there's only so much wisdom that can be gained. And then you add different races with different personalities, different characteristics, different locations on Earth. And then, you know, observing different species or different races, you know, within themselves, but then also how they interact with each other, how they interact with nature, the different ways that their minds, you know, their different strengths and weaknesses. It's just something that should be acknowledged and embraced and celebrated, and not, seen as a negative thing where we, it's like not being prejudiced against other races in a negative manner, but just accepting that we are different, right? So anyways, the comment continues, evolution is nonsense, and you are the only one bringing race into this issue. So if you want to claim to strive to be anti-racist, try harder, right? The racist is the only one bringing race into a conversation that had nothing to do with race in the first place. And I got a 30-day ban. I have disagreed with Facebook's decision, and then you click submit to disagree with their decision, and then they're like, oh, because of COVID we don't have very many people to check every complaint, so thanks for your feedback, and it'll be used to help Facebook be better in the future. It's like, so yeah, I tried to submit, well, I didn't try to, I did actually submit they have like an oversight board which supposedly goes through different Facebook complaints and can potentially combat their decision or whatever. But then they are saying that they only select a few, here and there to deal with. So the likelihood of my ban ending early and getting back on Facebook is very slim. And it's kind of ironic because when I was talking in that Truth About the Truther community video, I was like, it's only a matter of time before we get taken off, right? These platforms are all controlled by them. So yeah, if you want to be on an email list, definitely let me know. My email is inanosnow@hotmail.com so that we can keep in touch. I can potentially send you the links before I go live so that you know where I am and let you know what is going on. So, hey, KG Jr., how's it going? Billy and Gary's McCutcheon, how are you doing? Hi, how are you doing? That is great that you guys could join. Thank you so much. Hopefully you are having a lovely day. The weather is obviously turning towards winter. If you can hear the wind blowing out there really intensely. Yesterday was actually like a spring day, and then today it's really dark and dingy. But anyways, hi, Renee. How's it going? Renee says, hello, Inanna. What's up? Enjoying a lovely cup of hot tea on this cold day, and I'm getting pretty excited for this weekend. I am going to go down to Reading. I don't really, all of my family is in Ohio, so I'm not going to be doing anything, for Christmas technically, but I am going to go down to Reading and have vegan pizza and hang out there in the warmth for the day. So I probably will either upload a video or maybe even go live. So tune in for that. Let me know if you guys are doing anything. A lot of people in the truther community don't celebrate Christmas anymore. I definitely went through, I remember one year, telling my family, this is the last Christmas I will ever celebrate. And it was because I was coming from the really strict biblical mindset and trying to follow Torah. And they, in Jeremiah, it says, don't go into the woods and cut down a tree and, don't deck the halls, if you will. Don't decorate the tree and do all these things like the heathens do, so I'm trying to waken my parents and my family, this is a pagan holiday, all of that fun jazz. But now my outlook on it is definitely different. I kind of see the holidays as a celebration of different times of the year. And this time of year in particular, having a fertility festival where couples are encouraged to go and make babies. I can't even stop smiling right now. You can see how excited my soul is because this is one of the topics I wanted to talk about. I want to be a mom more than anything, and I want Virgo babies. So getting pregnant at this specific time during the year is when you have Virgo babies in the future. So it's something that I encourage in committed relationships, obviously, and not really right now because this world is not baby safe. But this is the time of year to get pregnant, and I have definitely been feeling the baby fever recently. I was on Instagram and I saw this post about what's called Montessori, this parenting, if you will. It's a type of education. It's a method of raising children, if you will, and educational approach where, I'll leave this link here. You can actually look. There are different principles to it, but I saw one video and I have been like absolutely obsessing over this topic for the past few days now. And it's really important to me how I raise my future children. So it's something that I really get obsessed over. It's something that I'm prone to get baby fever. And especially during this time of year, like my soul just desperately not only wants to be a mom, but wants a Virgo baby. So it's like I'm really feeling the baby fever right now. Here is this really quick. Montessori method. This is just a basic. I'm going to probably do a more detailed video regarding this method in the future. But there are so many principles in this that I am learning and going to adopt for my own future children. I plan on homeschooling. And, this method is just really empowering and really focuses on toys that are educational and, practical in everyday life, not having tons of toys and clutter all around, like most people just keep buying their kids toys, these flashy toys that make noise. And then, at Christmas time, they get, how many of these toys, right? You get 10 toys, and by the end of the year, it's like those toys are at the bottom of the toy box and not even getting played with anymore. So there's a lot of different principles in this method, and I definitely encourage anybody to look into it. And like I said, I will be making a more detailed video in the future. I have like a whole folder on my computer now and stuff going of like future baby things. So I look forward to sharing that with you in the future, and especially having a baby. Okay, let's move on. Twin 13 says, hi, beautiful. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Atreus, is that how you say her name? We all came from heaven, the womb, then into the filthy earth. That is an interesting outlook. I would definitely argue that not every, well, I mean, I guess maybe originally a long time ago, maybe the souls came from heaven, but not every soul that is here right now came from above. You've heard of ascended masters. I don't really, they're really popular around here, Mount Shasta, with the whole Lemurian connection and all of that stuff. Telos or however you say it, whatever. An ascended person, someone who is ascended, if they're in this physical world, they ascended, they came from below, right? But if you're a descended master, then you came from above, right? You descended to be where you are. So that's something that personally, like if people are saying they're an ascended master or any of this, like this kind of business, I tend to stay away from them. But I personally don't follow anybody anyways. I don't have like a spiritual guru. I don't even have any truthers that I like subscribe to and follow all the time. Even really at all, actually. Lately, I've been obsessing over this parenting thing, right? It's not like my focus really isn't on following other people. My focus mainly is on looking within and trying to find the truth of our reality to remember it. And as far as, spiritual gurus and stuff go, I think that discernment is really key in who you are allowing to influence you, who you are under the teachings of, I guess. And for me personally, like I am a purifier at a soul level. And, if I came across a pastor or a guru or something, and let's say they ate meat, maybe they were speaking the truth in every other subject, but if they eat animals, like I am going to stay away from them. Like it's just, I can't have I don't want to say a shepherd, but I think in the Bible, they talk about, the Christ being the good shepherd and us being sheep and stuff. And obviously that's been kind of muddled. The waters have been muddled, I guess, in regards to this whole sheep thing, right? Like we call people that blindly follow sheep. And then in the Bible, it's kind of referring to sheep as a good thing. So it's kind of, I don't really want to use a shepherd, but it is kind of like that. You know, when you have a guru or a leader, it's kind of like they are your shepherd in a way. And I don't know, I kind of like that mentality, and that's not to be negative to sheep in any manner. So anyways, you need to be really careful about who you are following. And a lot of, you know, the truthers are controlled opposition. The truth about the truther community. I've already talked about how all of these shills were put into place to gatekeep, to manipulate, and to corrupt us. You know, they'll tell you all sorts of truth, right? They'll be, you know, flat earth, anti-jab, anti-dinosaur, like, I don't know, they'll say all these truths, and then they'll, you know, slip in corruption in some way, shape, or form. The person that came to mind was that SV3 Ridge person. I don't really know. They, you know, promote flat earth stuff sometimes, but they also promote eating raw flesh and drinking blood. And they, you know, say something like pedophilia, or not pedophilia, it was incest, is like natural or normal or something. It's like, whoa, slam on the brakes. So you really have to be careful, really, about who is influencing you, even if they are speaking the truth. Like, you know, look deeper than just the truth, because we have so many that have been put into place to speak truth, just to gatekeep, to be seen as heroes for whatever reasons, right? To ultimately corrupt us. So, yeah. Atreus says, I'm surprised people aren't tired of playing along with this race game. They just want to grasp whatever power they think they have. Yes, well, definitely the powers that be are trying to start race wars, right? Like any way that they can get us humans to be divided and conquered and fighting each other, rather than coming together and having a united vision for the future, and ultimately standing against those that are, you know, are farming us, or are ruling over us. If we, as a human species, whatever the race, don't ultimately come together, then we're not going to age, right? There's only, you know, it's kind of a complex. Well, not really, actually. There's only one physical world, and only, you know, it can either be going in one direction or another, right? It's either getting worse or getting better. It can be a hell or it can be a paradise. And if we don't come together and start to dream together and manifest together the world that we want, then our enemies who are united against us are going to easily manifest their world. And I keep going on and on about the golden age, but you know, your individual dreams and hopes and goals, like the soul, you want to be free, right? You want to be able to live your dreams and do whatever job or not job that you want to do, and, you know, not have to worry about making ends meet, right? Everybody's dream can be realized in the golden age. Like, all humans generally want to be free and not have to be slaves. Obviously, that's what being free means, right? But just to be them, right? And during the golden age, that can happen. So if we all just focus on manifesting the golden age, all of our individual dreams can be realized in the setting of that golden age. So it kind of makes it easy, but it also makes it really hard, right? I'm trying to like get all of the humans to put their differences aside and try to manifest together, when all of these agendas are set to divide and conquer: race, country versus country, left versus right, mask versus non-mask, jab versus non-jab, like every different way that they can divide and conquer us. So thank you guys that do see through that. And, you know, thank you for trying to wake other people up to it, so that we can manifest that world together. Because the way that we're headed, you know, with the way things are, if we don't stop and change direction and stop what we're doing, the default is the new world order. You know, it's not guaranteed that we get a golden age. Nothing is guaranteed. That's part of the fun of this game that we play. So like, if everything was always guaranteed, then what wisdom is Sophia actually gaining at the end of the day? There has to be room for essentially unlimited possibilities. So Yes. Renee says, by the way, I have a question for you. What do you know about witchcraft and Wicca, if you please? So witchcraft is a practice. It's a pretty much, using your energy, using different pieces of nature, using different colors and associations to bring about manifestation of your dreams, your desires, or whatever. Whereas Wicca is more of an actual religion with different religious philosophies. So Wicca, some Wiccans are witches as well, and some witches are Wiccans, but not each is everyone, if you will. And people from any religion essentially can practice witchcraft. Christians by praying, by lighting a candle on your birthday and making a wish, that is witchcraft. And prayer is a form of witchcraft in that you are putting your energy and your thoughts and your intent and you're asking the God or the spiritual world or whatever, whoever you're asking. It's like that is a form of magic, of witchcraft. So yeah, and obviously witchcraft can be used for good or evil, just like a hammer. You can go pick up a hammer and do something bad with it, or you can build a house. Like it's all depends on the person and how they are using it. So when it comes down to like 333 or different colors, different signs and symbols, different hand gestures, it all comes down to the user's intent. And obviously all of the mainstream sources of all of these signs and symbols and stuff, they're using these things against us, right? So when they go to try to convince everybody that death rates of, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to get banned, okay. Death rates of a certain thing are really high, they might use like 333, 333, 66, they might use these different numbers to empower that spell, right? So they're using those numbers for a negative way, but they can also be used in a positive way, right? If you study, we have 33 vertebrae, the Christ was 33, right? There are different ways that these same numbers we see, even, Christians, they'll say, oh, number 33 is evil, but then it's like the Christ was 33. So it's like their own religion is contradicting itself and not really seeing the bigger picture of that this number is just a number and it can be used for good or bad. So yes. And as far as Wicca goes, I haven't studied at length into it, but I do know that they recognize Lord and Lady Christ, which is something that I, lean towards, the Christ and Mary being, together in their mission, in their ministry is, I guess, what I was trying to say. Doing it together, it's not good for man to be alone, and having, this power couple type preachers, I guess. So I really do jive with that. And you can see extra biblical texts like, Gospel of Mary and other Gnostic or Essene texts that talk about Mary being like a really dedicated disciple of the Christ and being more learned than the boys. Having a closer relationship with the Christ is making me really excited. So it's like, yeah. Thank you for your insight on everything, Atreya says. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. And, thanks for the... You said, sorry, I was trying to make a joke with my first comment, but that went sour. Yes. It's okay. No worries. It didn't go sour. People like to hear about these things either way. So, hi, Daniel. How's it going? Life is good. Hey, Faith. Looking great. Thank you. What about Conscious X? He's mentioned you a few times. Actually, do you have a link of whatever video that he's mentioned me in? Because I haven't actually seen any of these videos. So, Wayness, I'm skipping to your comment because you're an atheist and you're trying to tell me about living in a fantasy. Like I already said, atheism is based on complete ignorance of where we are, what we are, and why we are here. Only through ignorance can you accept being an atheist. There is so much proof of intelligent design, like from your very own self-healing DNA, like to the fact that we don't live on a giant spinning ball. Buddy, you don't have anything to say to me about anything until you cure that ignorance. Okay. Daniel says, I saw Patrick Steer in a chat yesterday, was tempted to shut him out, but refrained from that. That's hilarious. I haven't heard or seen anything from the red drag monster for a while, so that's funny. Ganged Up says, the appreciation of relation seems to be winning. Glad to have you back. Love and war. Yes, thank you. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you're doing well. Nick, go away with this perverted nonsense. We don't care about that. You are elegantly intelligent and very well versed. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wayness says, nope, no proof. Literally anybody who becomes a real scientist can prove flat earth for themselves. How many people in this chat are laughing at you right now? You're embarrassing your soul. Like, I learned about flat earth in 2015 and it is 2021. So you're really you're not even in kindergarten yet, buddy. Like maybe not even enrolled in preschool. Like, so anyways. All right. So I wanted to also speak about my 60-hour dry fast experience. I actually hosted an event on Facebook in the dry fasting community, but Facebook banned me in the middle of, Nick is saying something. I'll hold that thought. Nick says, why do y'all care so effing much about other people, religion, or standpoint on life? You going to sit there and say they're wrong, but yet your standpoint or view is absolutely correct. Because there's only one truth. There's either right or there is wrong. That's what it is. And why do I care? Why do I care that humans are deceived? For multiple reasons. It's actually a pity for me to look out and see my fellow humans being deceived clowns. Okay, so I feel a spiritual urge to stand up and bear the light and stop them from being clowns. The ignorance, the degeneracy, the corruption of one is going to affect us all. We share group consciousness. So if one person is being a corrupt clown, that is affecting us all. So that is why I care. If you don't care, then please stop consuming fluoride. Wayne said, where did flat earth come from? I never mentioned it nor promoted it. I said that atheism is based on ignorance about where we are. Okay, so if you go outside and become a real scientist, you can figure out where we are and the ignorance will be cured. Yay! How about that? Becoming a real scientist, stopping just regurgitating what you were taught as a child and actually using your brain. Woohoo! Then you're not an atheist anymore. Anyways, so like I was saying, I started the 60-hour dry fasting event on Facebook, and then they banned me in the middle, so I couldn't get to congratulate everybody who did it with me. But I had a huge turnout. Like, this was the biggest dry fasting event that I've held yet. They keep getting bigger and bigger. I think, let's see. There was definitely double digits going. It was a pretty 75 people responded to a 60-hour dry fast. Okay, that alone is impressive. But anyways, they blocked me in the middle. And honestly, that was a really intense experience for me. I had some really serious leg pain going on. And some knee pain going on. I know that, when your body is in this fasted state, when you go through the autophagy, your body is starting to clean out the cells to chomp up what is toxic in there, what is hurting you, and basically rejuvenate, to renew your cells, and ultimately make you feel younger, right? And that's what I experienced. I experienced some really intense pains in my leg, it was actually both of my legs for a while, but my left leg was just really, really bad. And I was crying. It's just very intense. But then the day after, like, wow, the rejuvenation that I feel in my knee and my leg is just like, it was definitely worth it. So, well, yeah. Going through the pain and suffering through and not breaking the fast, no matter what pain, no matter what cravings, no matter what happens, is really worth it and impressive to the spiritual world. All sorts of demonic pains, temptations, even dreams. Like I had a dream that I went into this bar and I sat down and I ordered some sort of soda. And as soon as the bartender put it down, I started drinking it. And then like a few minutes later in the dream, I go on and start talking about how I'm in the middle of a 60-hour dry fast. And I'm like, wait a second, I just drank this. So it's like you'll be tortured in your dreams. And then you'll be like, did that happen in real life or not? Right? Like, thankfully, I've never seen the bar before, so I knew it didn't happen in real life, but it was like, whoa, that was just, I'm really being tortured. So it's definitely an interesting experience to dry fast, and I am really loving the results. I feel younger. I'm looking younger. My tummy is really flat. Like, I just love the changes that I'm seeing. So I'm going to continue to press on with the fasting and encourage other people to do it as well. Dry fasting is the most natural, most effective way to heal from any disease, any virus, any cancer. It will help slow the aging process down. It'll help rejuvenate you and make you feel great. So I definitely encourage you to do dry fasting, starting with, even intermittent dry fasting if you have to. I didn't make it 24 hours the first time that I tried. It was definitely intense. But it gets easier over time, and it's definitely worth it in the end because of the healing that you will receive. So, yes. Ganged Up says it's cool to see how the winter brings out the cranky, LOL, and easy belief. Yes. Thankfully, I haven't really been out, so I haven't really seen any cranky people. So, yeah. Wayne says, I'm supposed to be a scientist on top of being an atheist. LOL's okay, bud. Aw. Yeah, it's too bad. If atheists were truly scientists, then they wouldn't be atheists anymore, would they? Oh. Ganged Up says, congrats on the fast. Thank you. I'm really feeling very proud of myself. Nick says, sweetheart, I usually push nothing but positivity, but I hope your dreams do not come true. Wow. Honey, I'm going to put you in timeout. I don't really care about your negative hopes. I don't care about your negative opinions. And if you want to try to teach people about respect, acting like that is definitely not how to do it. It's definitely just going to backfire on you, because whatever you put out into the atmosphere, whatever negativity you send towards me, it's just going to come back towards you. And ultimately, like I said, I'm trying to change the world for even the scum of the earth, my enemies, to have a better world to live in. Like, I might not like you. I might really dislike you, but ultimately the golden age is a better world for everybody, for the innocent, for your children. So for you to be fighting against me just makes you look really stupid. Wayna says, you said it, not me. You're not even making any sense. If you become a real scientist and go outside, you can figure out flat earth truth for yourself. Real scientists, let's talk about atheism, ignorance of where you are, right? They think that we live on a giant spinning ball that came into existence by some big bang chance. It's not provable, right? The Big Bang in itself is never been observed or recreated. It's not science, it's a theory, okay? And the whole theory of two things colliding together and coming up with this perfectly designed earth with all these different ecosystems and everything is the most ridiculous thing and requires more faith than any actual religion that has a creator making all of this. It really requires very, very little faith for me to know that an intelligent designer created this world, because I can see the evidence. I know that the body is a self-healing machine. DNA is self-healing. So that means that evolution is not possible. Okay. the whole Darwinian evolution theory of speciation by mutation has never been observed, never been recreated. It is pseudoscience. Okay. And to believe that humans are evolved pond scum, that is another huge thing, requirement of faith that I just don't have. I require evidence for things like, so congratulations. Atheists have more blind faith than they probably have more blind faith than all of the world's religions combined. All right, let's see this. The Uplifting Podcast says the censorship is so sickening it literally feels like we are in a George Orwell book. Yes, whatever. 1984, huh? Exactly. Where's that other comment from you there? Oh, okay. Renee says a lot of people are atheists until they have a profound and traumatic experience. Yes. Yep. Until they actually study creation as well, right? Wayne says, I'm still in the dark. What religion are you? What is it? I don't follow one specific religion. I follow the truth. No set man-made religion has all of the answers, has all of the truth. Like, who is your God? Then state it. I follow, well, I don't follow, but I seek to do the will of my creator. And, he has different names in different cultures. I call him Yah, but like I said, I don't follow one specific religion. The Bible makes him look like a contradictive, bloodthirsty psychopath. And, it's just unnecessary to follow any books, to have a relationship with our creator, to know the mysteries of the spiritual kingdom, of the physical world. Like, yeah. Ganked Up says, isn't science a form of religion? LOL, the tape measure religion. Well, definitely scientism and what is pushed today. This whole, Einstein is like the preacher, and, we blindly salute and follow the teachings of any of these clowns, that really helped humans. Lanus says, you require evidence. Faith ain't evidence. Did you meet your God in person yet? That's not what it's about. The evidence of the intelligent designer is all around us. That is the proof that the creator exists. Whether or not I have met him in this life, like my soul has obviously met the creator before, but not in this life. And these are subjects that you're drifting into more of spiritual topics rather than the physical that I am talking to you, that the physical world itself proves that there is a creator. If you actually study the physical world, the ignorance, the atheism will go away because you will inevitably find the intelligent designer. No other species on Earth is as stupid as humans right now. Like, not even cows, like they don't think that they are evolved slime living on a giant spinning ball. So Atreya says, I don't really want to be agnostic anymore. I just want to be happy and not worry about possibly inevitable hell. As I am not agnostic, I am agnostic, meaning that we can know. I understand that being agnostic would definitely be a hard place to be, not knowing, not thinking that you can't know whatever. As far as hell goes, all of these religions want to say that you need to believe a certain thing or whatever. Ultimately, being a good person and doing what you can to be the best version of yourself possible so that, at the end of your days, you can stand before your creator and say, yeah, I made my mistakes, but when I woke up and realized they were mistakes, I started to do differently. Then that is, that's what it is really about. Our creator knows and judges us, according to where we are in our knowledge, right? They kind of say ignorance is bliss because, well, for multiple reasons. But one of the things is like, when you are delusional, when you don't know, you're judged differently than when you do, right? Before, when we didn't know eating animals was wrong, we were judged a certain way. But now that we know that it's wrong, if we still go out and do it, knowing that it's wrong, we're judged so much worse. So some people do say it's blessing and a curse, but I'd rather know. I would rather know. Okay. Renee says pseudoscience is a religion. They need to believe in their postulates because most of them can't be proven. Yes. Kevin says, I'm with you. I don't a silly belief in the Bible, but I do believe in the all-powerful creator that is Jesus / Yeshua. Ganged Up says, I believe in a great mystery. Okay. Lena says, I do not, or I does not. I don't know what you're talking about there. Kevin says, the Satanist, Illuminati, Freemasonic that run the world, they hate the Bible and Jesus Christ. So if they hate Jesus Christ, I love Jesus Christ. I personally don't believe that they hate the Bible. I mean, in Freemason rituals, they use the Bible. The Bible is like the most promoted book. Well, one of the most promoted one of the most promoted books in the world. If they truly hated it, I don't believe that it would be so promoted. I think the Bible has been corrupted over time. It's not something that I follow any longer. And it makes God look like a bloodthirsty psychopath. Like he requires you to go and shed innocent blood in order for you to be forgiven for your sins. And instead of just forgiving you for your sins, like why all of this killing innocence? And then, later in the book, it says God hates hands that shed innocent blood. So how is he going to both require you to shed innocent blood and then hate hands to shed innocent blood? Is like it just doesn't make sense. So I just stick with, Mike the Mechanic. Hey, learning about flat earth got me to renew my faith in the creator. Absolutely. Atheists aren't atheists anymore, even when they find out flat earth. Like it's just something that totally changes everything. Crab says, hell was a concept made to keep you in fear. I am not afraid of hell. I don't believe it is a concept made to keep us in fear. And actually, it kind of depends on what you call hell, as far as the lake of fire goes, or these fiery places. That is a paradise for Jinn. So what humans see as a hell is actually a paradise for them. And they were created before us. So the actual intent of this place is definitely more questionable than what the normal story goes. Lena says, you just cannot accept death like the masses do. So you will fool yourself into believing in a supernatural person that thinks and empathizes with you. That is the basis of that religion. Honey, I already told you that I don't follow a specific religion. So what are you even talking about? I accept death very fully. Death is not the end, and it's happened very many times before. The one who can't accept the reality of the world is actually you and other atheists. So Kevin says the satanic cabal that run the world know that there is a God. They're just hoping that you don't know there is a God. Yes, they say that we are evolved slime on a giant spinning ball that came into existence by chance. There is no God after death. It's just the end. Don't worry. What you do here doesn't matter. So, why not go out and do all sorts of evil, right? Because it doesn't matter in the end. Ganged Up says, I heard hell was a city. Wayne says, you keep referring to your creator, but you specified your creator as a hybrid. No, I did not. When did I say my creator was a hybrid? Then you address other God believers as you have concerned. And gods, LOL. You're all over the place. I think it's just that you lack understanding and you want to fight with me when you have zero understanding about my beliefs. So you're trying to fight coming from a place of ignorance, being an atheist. And it seems like you're fighting against, the Christian mainstream version of whatever. Like, I don't even know what you're fighting over. But you're not even addressing my actual beliefs. And at the end of the day, you're an atheist. So nothing that you say I'm going to take seriously. Like, I pity you, dude, and I want you to see the light, but you're acting like an arrogantly ignorant person. It would be like a child being adamant that Santa Claus exists when they don't. That's how a human is when they're adamant that globe Earth is real, that they're adamant that evolution is real, that there is no God. It's like you are adamant that the fairy tale, the tooth fairy exists. It's ridiculous. So Crab says that Kevin Samuels, they don't hate the Bible, they created it. Absolutely. The Council of Nicaea is who assembled the 66 scroll bound book, with Paul the Corrupter being the main focus of the New Testament. So Wayne says, I made him up in my head. That's not true. You're just I'm gonna just stop responding to you because the arrogant ignorance is just really quite irritating, and I don't want to have a bad day. People in your live chat need to learn with all you're getting, get an understanding. Absolutely. Mike the Mechanic says, just be a good person, then the fear of hell should never exist. Yes. Crab agrees and says, exactly. The only people who are scared of hell are people who know they're doing evil. If you weren't evil, you wouldn't be worried. Yes. And the whole Christian mindset also comes with this, underlying belief that we're born inherently sinful, that, there's nothing that we can do to combat this. And I think that's a really wrong, a wrong stance to have, but also really kind of puts you into this box where your mindset is like, I'm a sinner. I can never get away from sin. I can't be perfect. Well, I mean, I guess we can't, unfortunately, being perfect is not, not completely possible. And for a Virgo, that's really sad. But, the whole mindset of I was born a sinner and I'll die a sinner type thing, it keeps you in that mindset. Whereas, even in the Bible, the Christ says, be perfect, right? It's like, so if he's telling us to be perfect, then, we can, we have control over ourselves to every day, the decisions that we make. If we are conscious, if we are not just fluoridated zombies, robots going along with our programming, we make conscious decisions. Is this a good decision or is this a bad decision? And then we proceed, right? We don't just automatically autopilot through life. And when we, make these good or bad decisions, then that's what determines, what kind of person we are ultimately. But in the end, that's what matters, if we are doing right or we are doing wrong. So Ganged Up says wintertime, LOL. I guess I'm Nordic. Oh wait, I am, LOL flexing. Nice. Riggs5 says, oh, glad you're all right. I was a bit concerned. Yes, I got a 30-day Facebook ban, so I'm here, but yeah. Lena says, you said you ain't attached to any organized religion, so how did you come up with your God? I didn't come up with my God. I came from mainstream religion, and I've always known that there is a creator, but now I don't follow mainstream religion. I still know that there's a creator. It's like that part didn't change. That aspect doesn't change just because the religious teachings are corrupt. The creator is still the creator. The creator is still there and who he is, regardless of what any of these corrupt religions say about him. Kevin says, what's your view on inverting and the LGBT situation? I don't try not to get banned again. Any of these things that I couldn't support for my own child, I can't support for anybody else. So yeah. And as far as promoting corruption, I'm completely against that. So that should answer what you're saying. Obviously, these agendas are being pushed for a reason, to corrupt humans, to corrupt our souls, not just us on a physical level, but our souls, and to deceive us. And yeah, so I'm against those things, Kevin. Ganged Up says, this is cool. So the idea of a secular point that created all or is all, is this the doubt, no measurement, so no faith equals atheists? What are you talking about right now? I'm not sure what you mean there. Mike the Mechanic says, I just finished my 30-day ban a few days ago. Nice. Better watch what you say so you don't get in trouble. Rig5 says, my account is restricted for 90 days. Wow. That's ridiculous. Wayna says that is illogical. How is it illogical? It's really not illogical. The creator is existent no matter what religions say, because the creator being real doesn't rely on religions. If you go and observe nature, if you become a scientist, the more you observe creation, the faster you will observe and find the creator. There is an intelligent designer behind this, and religion has nothing to do with it. Just go observe nature, go outside, become a scientist. Ganged Up says, I can see the fear now of being in and no believer of anything. How scary. Thanks for the understanding. It helps a lot. Cheers. Interesting. Yeah, I don't get along with the whole no believing thing, not believing in anything and not having any attachments in any of that kind of stuff. I think that there is a truth, and that we should find it and then cling on to it, and that's what we should teach, and that's how it is. Rick 5 says, also, my Discord account was deleted 2 days ago. Hold strong, make new accounts. Yes. I thought about making another Facebook account, but I literally just changed my phone number, so I'd have to change it again, and then it'd just be, yeah. When it says, my mother and father created me, but I don't look at them as gods. I don't look at my mother and father, well, technically, I think that we are all gods and goddesses in human form, but my mom and dad are not the creator. The creator is the creator, and he created all physical matter, including my parents. And like I said, if you go out in nature, you will find the creator. Okay. It's not about some really shallow, oh, my mom and dad created me type of flippant response. Okay. This is deeper than that. This is something that created every parent. Okay. So let's just drop it. Atreus says, I have for a while thought that they use the Bible, especially Revelation, to get the people to accept our demise and let God take over. Yes. And all of the people, believing all of these prophecies and putting all of that energy into manifesting those prophecies help ultimately to manifest those prophecies, right? Ganged Up says, no, serious, a lot of observers only tend to be very fearful of creativity. Yes. Yeah, that's definitely true. Faith says, hey, Queen, did you say you're anti-dinosaur? Yes, dinosaurs are not real. A cover-up for dragons and other, large reptiles that are real. And yeah, I like dragons. They can be good or bad, like any other species. You have mixture, you have dinosaurs you have dragons that eat humans, and you have dragons that don't eat humans, just like you have humans that eat every other species, and then you have vegan humans. You see, not all of the species of any type is just plain evil. Wayna says, I am my own God. Well, atheists don't believe in God, so how does that work? You don't exist, right? Are you a figment of our imagination? Kevin says, do you condone people recording parts of your videos and posting them on social media websites? Go ahead. Spread the truth far and wide. Please do. Mike says, turns out turpentine cleanses are really a thing. Oh, interesting. I have not researched into that. Kind of sounds a little bit intense. I'm more into not putting anything in and kind of just letting the body do its natural detox by itself. But Mike, if you have any more information about that, definitely put it here. Faith says, Waynus, I think you're being very naive and closed-minded about things. Definitely. Rig 5 says, the gift to procreate is amazing. God is great. Absolutely. I agree. Ole Boy 9 says duality. Yes. And the dualistic principles that we see in this world, even, just with male and female, right? These aren't something that are strict. Ooh, hi, Kali. I'm a Montessori mom. That's so cool. That is awesome. I just got into it, and my whole soul just got really excited over that. Okay, sorry, back to what I was saying. The duality of just male and female itself isn't strictly limited to this reality. Like our creator is mirroring that, what is true of the spiritual world and what is true in our reality. So our souls are either male or female, just like humans and other species, right? We're either male or female. And they promote all sorts of types of confusion about this, saying, everybody is a girl until, a few days and through development in the womb, or saying that souls don't have a gender, like all of these different ways to confuse us, ultimately to try to corrupt us, right? If you think that, maybe your soul is not a specific gender, then maybe you think that God put you in the wrong body, then maybe you think that you're going to go down this path of being inverted, and ultimately that's going to corrupt your soul and leave you way more lost than, the average human is now, right? The average human is extremely lost. They think that they're a evolved pond scum living on a giant spinning ball that came into existence by chance. They think that when death comes, it's lights out forever, and they're just completely deceived, right? So it's all along these lines. Ganged Up says, Manus, does that mean I can pray to you? Dude, you might not want to. You might want to pick a more informed God to pray to. One that actually knows what the earth actually looks like. One that's not so deceived as Manus. Anyways. Atreya says, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything, as we see today. So maybe I should seek my own understanding, as you have. Absolutely. I definitely agree. And standing up for what you believe in is so honorable. This is something that I was thinking about the other day. Like me, when I'm specifically on the mountain, when it comes to people bringing, I host full moon events, full moon celebrations. I bring a big buffet of vegan food, and it's a strictly vegan event. Like non-vegans can come in, but no non-vegan food allowed. Like the energy is a high vibrational. We're not going to have the low vibration animal torture happening in this space. So when it comes down to it, it is, I'm willing to fight, kill, and die over what I believe, over fighting you over a cheeseburger coming into my vegan space. And on the flip side, the other person that's, trying to bring a cheeseburger into this space, what happened before was two men were trying to bring in mac and cheese, right? And fighting me. If that situation would have escalated, how embarrassing would that have been to the spiritual world for them to say that they were killed by a girl? Not only just like you got in a fight with a girl and she won, but you got in a fight with a girl over a cheeseburger or macaroni. Like, really? That is, how embarrassing of a death would that be? On the flip side, it's like, if I am in that situation and and I'm passed on because I'm fighting over this abuse not happening, it's like I can be proud in that death because I stood up for what was right. I ultimately sacrificed my life for what is right, and that is something to be proud of. And on the flip side, dying over a cheeseburger, getting passed on by a girl because you wanted to eat a cheeseburger, is extremely embarrassing. So, yeah. Mike the Mechanic says, flat Earth. We live under an impenetrable dome. Therefore, 0 asteroids. Therefore, no Yucatan Peninsula hit. Therefore, no dinosaurs. I'm not sure that, I don't know how dinosaurs fits all into that, but yeah, obviously no asteroids and no asteroids wiping out dinosaurs and stuff like that. It's interesting, as they keep going further down the deception and they talk about things trying to come and hit Earth, and people will post like, oh my gosh, there's something coming to hit Earth. And then they get scared. It's like, calm down, guys. We've been in a closed realm. There's no, nothing to worry about. Ganged Up says, dang lady, you gather the extremes from all sides. Good stuff. Yeah. Mike the Mechanic says, I said something right before I mentioned turpentine cleanse. It is a thing, but it can cure someone from being LGBTQ. And interesting. I have heard about some sort of device that they use in Telos, in the underground city. in Mount Shasta is what they say. This was the story told to me. And they were talking about in the future during the golden age, they were going to be using this device and some sort of like with your frequencies and your energies being misaligned. And that's kind of what helps to lean towards these types of behaviors. And they're talking about this machine actually helping with that. So it's an interesting subject. And obviously it's not just a physical thing with abuse, but, you know, demonic attacks and influence and all that. Do you even Sage says blessings, Ananda. Hello, and everyone. Trust you are wonderful. I am doing great. Thank you. Just came off my 3-day dry fast. Wow, that's awesome. Clarity and so much love in this now. That is amazing. That is great. If you have any other any experience, anything that you experience, definitely let us know. Like I was saying earlier, when I did the 60-hour dry fast recently, it was really intense healing pains. But on the other side, I'm feeling really awesome. And so, yeah. Crab says, what do you think about vegan meats and cheeses? Well, that's kind of a complex subject. Preferably, you should make your own. That's usually what I try to do. But if it is going to save an animal, and, you know, if you're going to the grocery store and your choice is either picking a plant-based burger or a cow-based burger, then the moral option is obviously to pick the plant-based version, right? When it comes down to it. So, yeah. Yes, Faye says some of them are highly processed, and I do agree with that. There's some that are extremely chemically, and, you know, some of them can borderline taste like cat or dog food, like real bad. So I think that they are definitely trying to play a joke on humans with some of that. So that's why I encourage you to make your own as much as possible. So, yeah. Ganged Up says, ever see how AI artwork looks? I have not. I'm actually going to have to get off of here because I have some errands to run. But this has been a really great conversation, guys. I really appreciate this live feed. Crab says, what do you think about alkaline vegans? I think that is definitely the way to go, that we're supposed to be raw fruit and herb bearing seed. And the more alkaline our diet is, you know, our body's supposed to be more pure. And when it's more acidic, then all of these, you know, diseases, viruses, cancers, and demons, parasites, like they can thrive in that environment. So your terrain obviously is like extremely important in when it comes to battling diseases. If your terrain is clean, any disease, any virus, any cancer, you know, that comes your way, your body's just going to fight it off, right? So it doesn't matter what viruses they're sending out or whatever, you're good to go. But the more impure your terrain is, the harder it is for you to fight that off. And, you know, that's what we're seeing all around us. So many people just in our country, in America, are eating the standard American diet, sad, and their bodies aren't fighting off diseases because of it, right? They're really obese. They have cancers. They are prematurely aging and dying, not even 100 years old. Like, it's crazy to think that humans are designed to live hundreds of years in vibrant youth. So, like, you would get to a certain maturity age and then, like, stay that way for a long time. So you maybe look like 20 or 30, somewhere in there, for a very, very long time. And the aging process is extremely stretched out, right? So it's all of these different phases are gonna last longer, right? So you'd look youthful and vibrant for, you know, the same kind of look for an extended period of time into your hundreds. And then you wouldn't start actually, you know, getting white hair and doing all that more mature aging process until your late 100, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 900, right? It's crazy how they can get us to age so quickly when we're supposed to live for hundreds of years. Absolutely crazy. All right, Mike Mechanic says, supposedly an asteroid hit the Yucatan Peninsula. Yes, I kind of thought that's what you were referring to, but I was kind of thinking that, you know, dinosaurs could have existed without, I mean, they didn't exist, but I'm just saying that it's not necessarily that they have to have the asteroid and globe Earth having to be related to dinosaurs existing. I'm not Sorry, I'm not really communicating that clearly, but even if there wasn't an asteroid, dinosaurs didn't exist. So anyways, supposedly the turpentine cleanse gets rid of certain types of parasites. Yes, I've heard that. Those people supposedly have these types of parasites. Yes, and parasites are definitely demonic. All right. Do you even Sage says, wish I was there. Love moon circles. We have been looking through many landowners filling their spaces to the public. Oh, that's really cool. Is that you're looking into communes then? If you have any of those for other people, especially vegans, definitely share that on my wall and stuff so that other people can join. I personally am not going to be joining or starting any commune. I need my privacy, but I do think that, it can be very beneficial way of living, but you have to be really careful and be really trusting of the people around you. You don't want to end up in a commune that's like run in full of inverted clowns, especially if you are like me and you want to have babies. You want to be as protected from them and sheltered from them as possible. So, yeah. Mike says, I'll eat the plant-based stuff when I don't have time to cook. Once a week to 10 days, not every day. Yes. Much easier to do raw vegan anyways. Steven says, bless you. Merry Christmas. Our presence is the most loving present. That's beautiful. Hopefully you guys all have a Merry Christmas as well. Like I said, I will either upload a video or maybe even go live depending on what happens. Yeah, Rig5 says, glad you are well and vibrant. Guess we'll see you here for now. Yes, and I'm also on Instagram as well at Queen and on a Snow. So I'll be able to post on there and stuff, even though I'm banned on Facebook. And yes, Stephen Sage says in Queensland, Australia. Very cool. Vegan owners. That is awesome. Kevin says, I posted your video on TikTok about transvestigations in Hollywood, and every last one of those videos got taken down after it had 50,000 views. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. All right, guys. Anyways, I am going to get off of here. I do appreciate people sharing my videos. I'm being heavily shadow banned. And even more so, I appreciate you guys being here and spending this time with me, being my friends and family on not only here, but on Facebook, on other sites. Thank you for being on this journey with me and awakening the world with me. So I will catch up with you in a few days on Christmas. And then Sunday after that, I'll be here again for live. So until then, I hope that you have a wonderful next few days. May God and the Goddess bless you.